What's going on, guys? BoxInOne here. I am here with roischand. It's like a little joke. We call it like when it was Samajai, Rois, and I. We said like the Nets' big three. I guess it's Kyrie and James Harden today. But I told y'all on the channel, film breakdown will be coming today. Who are we breaking down, Rois?
The Oklahoma City Thunder, one of the league's history's best teams.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think I said they were a little boring. Dominance gets boring, but I do have to respect it. I had a video a few months ago on the channel where I said they had the fakest championship ever. A lot of people did not like that video. We gonna see how it ages. Personally, I'm not gonna say I still stand on that take, but I feel like the masses are beginning to realize if Tyrese Halliburton does, I'm not even gonna talk about it. I'm a screen share now, but we're not just breaking down the Oklahoma City Thunder. We're breaking down their defense, one of the best defensive ratings in the league. We're going to go through a few plays from this season. So first play, this is from the Oklahoma City Thunder versus, I believe that is Charlotte. Zoom in. Is that Charlotte? Am I slow, Royce?
No, that court's pretty nice though. Yeah, because they got that like orange yellow jersey for the city edition or whatever.
So let's just get straight to it.
Suffocating.
What's to that? It's suffocating. I think the one thing, I don't know if where I can pause it exactly. Let me adjust the speed first. I'm going to take this to half speed. One thing I want y'all to really notice automatically is the rotation and the communication. They're fighting through every single switch. You got a body everywhere, always going for balls. SGA's watching the top. Their closeout speed is so crazy. Brick. Not sure if that was a foul. I think he went into the defender. But again, running back from the top here. You got Case and Wallace at the top here. This is without J-Dub by them. Read the switch immediately. Man coming up. Immediately up on him. Not out of left space for a pick and roll. AJ Mitchell immediately reads the switch. Case and Wallace got the man. Fights through the screen again. AJ Mitchell's intensity on this play is absolutely incredible, by the way.
Shout out AJ Mitchell. He's coming to his own this season. Like, for him to step up and like actually fill the shoes of Jalen Williams, I don't think anyone could have. I don't even think Thunder fans could have expected this.
It's almost like, would you say it's like a man zone, Royce? Like they kind of just rotate?
I don't even think you could put a definition on it. Like the way I describe it is that everyone is so switchable that it's like you can literally put anyone on anyone. Like you put Hardenstein at the perimeter, he's not going to be put on the island like certain defenders. I'm not going to name, but like Dort Caruso, are they point guard, shooting guard, small forward? They can even play like faux pas, power forward. So I think the main thing is like how switchable they are. Like there's no mismatch when you play the Oklahoma City Thunder. Like you can't matchup hunt, you can't mismatch hunt. Like no matter who you're guarding, you're facing like an all defense caliber player.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that makes them like a really scary team to go against. Like you said, there's some teams with bigs. Again, we're not going to necessarily name names. One of these players might be a 4-time defensive player of the year. Granted, we're not going to say it's up to bigs to stop guards, but there's some bigs out there where it's like, oh, I got him in a pick and roll, I'm hunting him, right? Or I'm hunting her, because I'm sure this happens in the WNBA. It does happen a lot in the WNBA as well, just as Kelsey Plum. But the thing that's really interesting is that, like you said, there's nobody on this Thunder team that you can immediately exploit and hunt. They don't even say, outside of Hartenstein, I wouldn't really call Chet a traditional big. Him, Jabari Smith, even Mobley, right? Like all within these different classes. Yeah. They were all kind of like in this KD-ish type of realm, not necessarily being like a guy that can move with the ball like KD, but a 7-footer who can defend, who can block, who can fit in certain defenses, but also still be able to contribute offensively, be able to, you know, have a one-on-one matchup with a guard and not be completely fried, but still be able to also stand tall with these other 7-footers in the post. So I think it's just really interesting. Like you said, OKC does not really have anybody that's exploitable. This is from the Phoenix Suns game last night here. I'm going to let this play out. And this is with J-Dub back.
Wait, are you screen
bringing
sharing?
the ball up. Oh, I realized I'm not screen sharing. Ah, that is funny. That is funny. You guys can't see the play. All right, my fault on that.
Trying to make me do audio-only commentary.
All right, so let me show the play in original speed. Also, if you're not tapped in on the Twitter,
the TikTok, the Instagram,
if you're not tapped in on the Twitter, go follow that.
Get with it.
If you're not tapped in on the Twitter, go follow that right now. Right, back to this play though. Gillespie bringing the ball up.
This is J-Dub not even at 100%, by the way.
Is this the dagger? No, it's not. All right, same thing as before.
Booker
running
from
back
way
half
downtown.
speed. Imagine he made that.
He probably could.
You can see just Gillespie already bringing the ball up, not entirely confident. J-Dub. Yeah, this play already fried because your ball handler now has to reset, but they're not giving him the chance to pull away and reset. Good shot contest without it actually being. I think one thing that's interesting there, like you said, Royce, it's the little things. There's nobody that is out of position because one could argue Gillespie has a shot right here, but now J-Dub is floating out of the play. Chet immediately comes up, and then Chet is in a position where he's got Gillespie. Even if you got him cutting right here, J-Dub is right there to intercept that as well. You still got defenders there. Shea checking Royce O'Neal now. Lou Dort back to Booker. Screen doesn't even matter at that point because Shea
Lou
basically.
Dort as well.
Yeah, it's like one thing. It's like one guy coming into the other. It's the worst matchup. And I think it's really interesting, too, if we focus on Shea's defensive impact here. One of the things about premier guards in this league is that has kind of been a critique is that, oh, well, when you have a guy like a Steph Curry or a James Harden or anybody, you know, who in the past has been extremely highly efficient in terms of scoring, Damian Lillard, you know, all guys who could average 28 to 32 a game given you know, the offensive schemes in the season. The thing is always, oh, but they're cones on defense. As we're seeing right now, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is not a cone on defense, is he, Royce?
Nope. We've seen it for what, 3-4 years now. I think that's like a skill that speaks to how like well conditioned he is. Like to be able to, you know, not turn off on defense and still be able to put up 33 and still be able to, you know, lock down here. You not lock down Devin Booker or like these high level offensive players. It speaks to, you know, there's really no flaws in Shai's game. He doesn't turn the ball over. He doesn't foul too much. He's not a bad shooter. There's literally nothing he can't do.
Yeah, and I think, hold on, let me do it again. I think something that was really interesting to see here is that Shai's not scared of the D-Book matchup. They try to get that Royce O'Neal screen so D-Book can come across and get a favorable matchup with Shai, but it's almost like Shai kind of helps Royce set that pin down. Dort doesn't lose his man. He stays with the play. Shai's like, I got this. So there's no lack of confidence with this team defensively. Picks the ball already. Bang, right there.
And that happened twice in a possession too, because they did it to Gillespie, and then they did it to Booker. Like,
yeah.
If you just go back to the drive, like here, if you pass it out to Royce O'Neal, that's not a bad shot, but the way that Shai like comes back and closes that down, it eliminates the shot right away.
Yeah.
Like that,
no
that's
shot.
And that's a 40% 3-point shooter. Like that's not a guy who's scared to put up shots. But he sees Shai coming at that speed, he knows he's not going to get a good shot. And then also, you could throw that up to Mark Williams for a dunk or for some sort of lob. But you know Chet's there as well. Chet, one of the skinniest players, one of the lightest players in the NBA, but still one of the most feared rim protectors. So, like I said, everyone is so switchable. It's like it's so suffocating. There's literally no shot. Even the good shots turn into terrible shots against the Thunder.
Yeah, and I think another thing here, just talking about how well coached they are on defense, a mistake a lot of guys make on closeouts, and the reason this frame is paused here for a reason. And I've seen this playing basketball. I'm sure we've seen this on 2K even. A lot of mistakes guys make on closeouts, excuse me, is they'll run to the shooter, but they won't be in a defensive position. And that's why for so many years, guys like Steph and Clay have pretty much patented that pump fake when a guy is coming up and then just a little side dribble, pull it for three. Notice when Shea closes out here, he's still in a guardable position, landing on 2 feet. So even if Royce O'Neal, even though he's looking to pass to D-Book, but let's just say Royce O'Neal here, pump fake, right? He gets Shea in the air right here. By the time he takes that dribble, Shea's second foot is already on the ground. That right foot is already on the ground. And he's in a position to slide very easily to that left side or that right side if Royce O'Neal did decide to actually, take that little pump fake and then sidestep into the three there. And I think we've even seen that in Shea's off-season workout, something I noticed he does a lot. I can't show my feet on camera, obviously, but he does a lot of ankle mobility and stability.
Yeah.
And the positions you'll see him really like putting his feet in the off-season pause. I know that sounds a little bit weird, but you'll be like, why is he doing that? Well, it's for reasons like this. So when you have to get a closeout on a guy, you can be in this position right here. Actually, I'm going to zoom in. This is not like normal positions for somebody's ankle. It's not a position that every athlete's like, sign me up for that. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander does say sign me up for it, and that is the reason why this Thunder defense is so suffocating. And then we got one more play. So again, same thing, just let it play out normal speed. That was not a bad shot from Dillon Brooks. Given what he had, that was not a bad shot. But again, going back just to the inception of this play here, you got Booker with the ball. Mark Williams misses the screen, honestly. I get he was trying to come down on the pick and roll. Booker didn't necessarily see him, but you know why Booker didn't see him? Again, back to Chet. You got this wall right here. You've got J-Dub. You've got Lou Dort. You've got Case and Wallace. Shai's right there as well. It's kind of like a collapsing man zone. I think maybe in a different game, maybe film analysis, and you can tell me if I'm wrong on this, Royce, I do think if Booker maybe lobbed this a little bit earlier and Dort and Williams collapsed, that is a wide open shot for Royce O'Neal in that corner right there. But that's also the importance of having a playmaking big, and there's only one big in the league I think could really exploit that, and that's Nikola Jokic. And I don't think the Thunder and OKC have played yet this season, so it'll be really interesting to see how he adjusted that defense. But back to the play here. Mark Williams misses that. Book with a good Nash dribble, though. Royce O'Neal right there, but again, Lou Dort automatically
Look how
sees.
quick that is. That's insane.
Yeah, the closeout is so fast because OKC, they never lose track of where the opposing team's best shots are. Before Book even makes the read, because you think, okay, Lou Dort's coming in to guard Mark Williams, they're triple teaming D-Book. Before Book even sees Royce in this corner, you got Lou Dort already heading there. So that's not a shot. Gillespie just wasn't ready, but again, that's not entirely on the fault of Gillespie because, again, Royce O'Neal wasn't looking to pass. For a different team, this might be a shot right here. Depending on who the Thunder are playing again, for a different team, this might be a shot right here, but even still, bad pass, might have got bailed out there. Gillespie has nothing. He has to close out and pass that. Now we just got this isolation defense from Shai here. What stands out to you, Royce? And I'm going to let this play out. Kobe. No,
Dear basketball.
I miss from the
No,
moment
I mean,
was
it's
Iron.
just like, what more can you say? It's just they're so disciplined. Like, who is that? Yeah, like the screen. That's a great screen. Like from Mark Williams, that's a
Yeah.
great screen. This guy's what 6'10", 270. That's a great screen. But look how quickly they switch back. And then I think that's also just tunnel vision from Dylan Brooks. Like, you should probably pass it into the big who's switched onto a guard. But yeah, 5 seconds left on the shot clock. I don't really blame him for taking that shot. But they're just so disciplined, and they're just so quick to like close out shots. Like that Gillespie shot, that's not even a bad position that he was in. It was just Dort is so quick to come back and like shut that down.
Yeah. Jason Wallace
And they're even
immediately
doing this
comes
with
out.
like without a traditional big on the floor, and Mark Williams is a traditional big, so you would think he would be feasting in the paint, or at least able to, create separation and get to the rim, but he can't. But yeah, like you said, I think it also does speak to the lack of playmaking as well. And the Thunder know how to exploit the mismatches or whatever their opponent doesn't have.
Yeah, and that's kind of why they threw pun intended here. That's why they kind of threw a boxing one, huh? On Nikola Jokic a little bit in that shout out to us, right? In that Thunder series a little bit, that Thunder Nuggets series last year, because if you take away that playmaker, it is like, oh, we don't have anybody. Just last thing before we wrap up. And I mean, this is only 3 plays. I say we were going to get into the playoff series from last year. We don't even have to do that because there's so much from these plays. Again, the conversation about positioning here, right? I want y'all to observe Jalen Williams, right? So Booker's coming in. Williams already sees Booker, walls that off. Now he's like, okay, I got to switch on to Mark Williams. Okay, he tries to wall him off for the screen, puts up a valiant effort. Mark Williams is too big. Stays on the switch. Shea doesn't try to fight through this for the miscommunication because that's Williams rolling back to the basket. And we can go back to that other play as well when we saw Royce O'Neal set that screen for D-Book. They don't fight through these screens. But look at Jade up here, right? Stays on Dylan Brooks. Pokes the ball a little bit. He doesn't even really go for this steal here because he's thinking, okay, if Mark Williams does roll back to the basket, his position right here, I'm stopping him from getting that ball or possibly that lob if he is bigger than Shea. I mean, you had Chet right there as well. I think they were fine. But also, his positioning on Brooks is also not allowing him to make that pass to Book. You got Book in the corner. I think that's the only thing that was missed because this is a wide open lane right here. But again, when you got a guy like J-Dub pestering you, and then see he closes that side off for that Booker pass there so he can't even make it as well. So just a salute to the discipline and the positioning. I mean, this is not a bad shot for Dylan Brooks. Green FN. It's not a bad shot for Dylan Brooks considering the season Dylan Brooks is having. But I think the biggest things, lack of switchability, the intensity, the discipline, and then the positioning, not only with their feet, but just the pause if needed, but just the positioning in terms of this team always knowing if there's not a playmaker on the floor, well, let's see all the plays they can make and then exploit them at the same time. It's just very suffocating stuff.
And that's why they're 19-1. Second best start in NBA history for a reason.
With that being said, though, again, as always, if you enjoyed the content, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. As promised, film analysis is coming to the channel, so hopefully you enjoy. Make sure to smash that subscribe button and follow the TikTok and Instagram for more daily hoops content. If you did enjoy this content, again, as always, I'm Joachim Powell. Pleasure doing it with roischand. As always, again, last time, if you enjoyed the content, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and we will see you all in the next one.